Hello and welcome. My name is Luise. I'm a literature student and writer. And I thought, what is better than just an ordinary writing routine? Maybe a Hobbit writing routine. Unfortunately, I don't live in a Hobbit hole, but I think we can make it aesthetic enough. And I don't live in the beautiful scenery of New Zealand, but we have to make do with the Austrian Alps. I think that is fine enough. And in between all the different meals, I am going to do some writing sessions, a little walk, and a little gardening. Unfortunately, there is no birthday party in the evening, which would be very hobbity. I'm going to try to write on paper because a hobbit doesn't have a laptop, I guess. So this is a bit of a challenge. I started my day with a nice and simple breakfast. I made oatmeal with apples and I ate that in the garden before I could even really think of writing anything. Prologue concerning hobbits. Hobbits are an unobtrusive but very ancient people, more numerous formerly than they are today. For they love peace and quiet and good-tilled earth. They possessed from the first the art of disappearing swiftly and silently when large folk whom they do not wish to meet come blundering by. And this art they have developed until to men it may seem magical. But hobbits have never, in fact, studied magic of any kind, and their elusiveness is due solely to a professional skill that heredity and practice, and a close friendship with the earth, have rendered inimitable by bigger and clumsier races. But what about second breakfast? To be honest, I can't eat as much as a real hobbit does, so it was just a little snack for me, some chestnuts, before I headed out for my little walk. The Fellowship of the Ring, Sam to Frodo. If I take one more step, it will be the farthest away from home I have ever been. Come on, Sam. Remember what Bilbo used to say. It's a dangerous business, Frodo, going out your door. You step onto the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to. Nature is probably the biggest inspiration in itself for so many writers. So when I got home from my walk, I attended to my garden and spent some time with the herbs and the flowers before I had the thought it was actually time to have some luncheon. Initially, I wanted to take a little break after lunch, but inspiration struck me, so I sat outside under the apple tree with the birds singing around me and kept writing on my novel, The Salt Mine Project, with the mountain in my back whispering from times long gone. And because the afternoon is a rather slow-paced time and also filled with tiredness, I made some tea and then grabbed a book and did some reading to take my mind off. Of course, I didn't cheat and used my laptop at some point. And then I made some potatoes because you can't have a Hobbit-themed day without any potato dish. And yeah, had my dinner before I was probably the most inspired in the evening time. Lord of the Rings, Chapter 10 from Gandalf's letter. All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. From the ashes a fire shall be woken. A light from the shadows shall spring. Renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless again shall be king. It is now 9 p.m. and I'm making some progress. Actually, quite good progress. I think it's the Hobbit mindset. It's that feeling of, I'm just trying to do as much as possible, but I'm taking a lot of breaks, and it is absolutely fine not to hustle through this whole experience. And I think the process of writing is exactly that. It's a process and it's a journey, and it is that adventure that has been happening in your head for so long, and now you're finally bringing it to paper and letting it play out. And in between, I allow myself to enjoy my surrounding and enjoy everything that I love to do. And if it's just sitting in the garden or making a walk, drinking some tea. And I think this is really beautiful. I'm working on draft 2 of Project Salt Mines. Is that how I called it? I think so, yeah. And I have a total of 12 pages, which doesn't sound much, but it's good progress. And there are still some details where I definitely have to do a lot more research, but also where I still have to find the correct voice. But all in all, I'm very happy with the direction it's going to. And yeah, I really enjoyed this day and this Hobbit routine because I think it helped me more than I thought it would. I thought it would just be a nice content for a video, but it was a little bit more than that. And I really enjoyed to embrace some Hobbit-y vibe. Wouldn't it be the time now to watch a Hobbit film or Lord of the Rings? It would. Okay, but I'll keep writing actually. I still have something in my fingertips that needs to get on the paper. Don't forget a nice sweet treat before you call it a day. So I made some sweet semolina with honey and some fruits and ate that for the last meal of my day. It is time to finish my tea. Thank you so much for being here and for experiencing this little experiment and Hobbit writing routine with me together. Let me know if there is a certain writing routine that you would like to see, maybe of some famous author or anyone. And if you have a spare coin, you can support me financially. I have a Ko-fi account that is linked down below, and I hope I'll see you in my next video. Have a very cozy, wholesome and inspiring time, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye. And I'm making some progress. There is a fly.